3, 2.
Let's do this live.
Live, people. We're live. Okay, and stuff.
I just watched Rhonda get a neck broken.
Also,
He is. He's a status.
Beautiful. Bang.
hammer, done.
I know it. My name's Joe Rogan. I know I said she was the best in history. But her corner told her she's doing great, and that's just not true.
All right, Blacklist.
Yes.
Are you watching the new series? Season 3?
No. You want to hear my excuse?
Yes.
It's not the same as Ron's excuse.
Is
said
it just
tomorrow
a
at my house.
He didn't even offer excuse. He just
Well, I'm catching up season 2. So I'm on like episode 17. And
17.
Yeah, and I thought I was going to be able to jump
She's
over.
only 17.
Kip Winger.
17.
And I'm going to federal prison because I didn't know at the time. So I'm catching up on
Tell it to
season
the
2.
judge.
Because there's only 22 episodes, so I'm nearly there. And it used to be on Time Warner's or on Fios, Verizon Fios, the on-demand.
Right.
You could watch the free, like the free shows.
Yeah.
And I went in and it's like, okay, there'll be like 6 and I can catch up. No, they're now charging for Blacklist just right off the bat, season 3, $1.99 a pop on
Wow.
Fios, and that's a new thing.
DVR.
Wait.
It's too late
This
now.
This is a show that you can watch for free on the ABC app, and yet they're charging on Fios for it?
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense.
$1.99. I
NBC
pulled
app.
that up and I was like,
Well, you should
Right.
be able to do it on your NBC app.
okay,
Yeah, do it that way.
I don't have that, but I will.
I
I will
think-
now. Because I ain't paying $1.99 per.
Well, the season's off to a good start. I'm digging it.
Yeah.
7 episodes in. This thing happens to the guy.
How many episodes have you watched of season 3 now?
7.
Oh, you watched them all?
It was on DVR. Like, I had a marathon Friday night. My sister Diana and I were in town. And we watched 6 episodes in a row, which is 45 minutes a pop.
Yeah.
But we started real early. We started like at 6 p.m. or
Did
something.
you hear the sense of awe and wonder and awe? You watched them.
What? You had somebody watching with you and stay awake?
Yeah.
Not even here to defend herself.
Ginger.
Meanwhile, you better get on this periscope.
Yeah, so it's a great season so far, and it's everything you like about the show,
But more.
but more. He's doing his thing, and she's coming along, man. She's not the lightweight that she used to be.
Yeah. And then we've talked about that before, that at a certain point in season 2, are you watching? Right.
No, I need to be. But I was talking about that on the phone in our break. I was like, I should be probably watching some of these shows, but I'm so enamored with like some of the ones that like Hell on Wheels, and I was up to like 4 a.m. watching it, trying to get through as many episodes.
You're gonna be close to being done with that, though.
Yeah, well, it's now going to its 5th season. So yeah, so I'm halfway through season 3, and I think they had the 4th one on Netflix.
Yeah, I think it is.
They still building that fucking railroad?
Is that by now?
They drive the Golden Spike already. Done.
Really, it took a couple of years.
Season 5 is about the interstate highways. Season 6. Season 6 is Congress trying to shore up our criminal infrastructure.
Yeah, all the bridges
Chasing
are
Apollo
collapsing.
Meals to Road Rage.
But it's I love that show, man.
It's a great show.
Yeah.
And I was surprised with Common. I didn't think that
He did fantastic. He's great the whole way through. Yeah.
I watched some of it.
It's got a great cast.
Season 1, and he scared me.
Yeah.
He's scared me.
I tell you what, I have a newfound respect for Mormons after watching that.
They were hardcore.
They are hardcore.
Well, there was nothing out there. They drove like 2,000 miles out in the middle of nothing. Had to hack it out of like the wilderness.
Yeah.
What's the big takeaway from this podcast? Greg didn't respect Mormons.
Sorry, Mormons.
Greg's the Mormon hater. Yeah.
Latter-day Saints.
Oh, I thought that was Olympic syndrome.
Totally no news.
There goes our Mormon fan base.
Yeah, I learned everything about Mormons through South Park, so.
They didn't do him justice. Yeah, they want to go down to Funky Town.
Maybe it was Utah.
Yeah, I don't think it was Utah.
Speaking of Scientology.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
Good segue.
Kidding.
Good segue.
Yeah, so you need to binge and you need to find a way to get on the app and watch it. Season 3 is fantastic. Super digging it. But again, it's like they know what they do, right? And they just do it episode after episode after episode.
Man, I could watch James Spader in that role all day long. He is great in that role.
He's super intense this season too, man.
They do a little bit of too much of the CSI trickery on me. It's like, oh, we got a grainy photo of a dude way back there, about 2 miles back. Let's enhance in on his arm tattoo. Yep, Russian mafia. Black mafia.
Yeah. Well,
It's a spy
how many
show.
shows
Paul.
do that? You know, all of them.
Yeah, it's a
Well,
spy
and
show.
it's at least they're not as bad as Blind Spot. We'll talk about
That's, well,
it. There's a hate for
so she's stepping it up. What's her name? Kathleen? No.
Turner.
Turner? Yeah.
Kathy Taylor Overdrive.
Yeah.
Turner Broadcasting System.
That's an awesome name for a band.
That was it. It
Turner
was. It was in
Overdrive.
the high fidelity.
Was it?
Yeah, the Jack Glass, Kathy Taylor Overdrive. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Turner damn near killed her.
Formerly, it was like all the band name was, Sonic Death Monkey and formerly Kathleen Turner Overdrive.
Formally. That's good stuff. But he's super intense, and now he's pulled back the curtains. He's not afraid to show her who he is anymore. So he's just mowing people down, man. Dembe figures prominently in season 3.
I like this character.
Yeah, I do too. He's a big part of season
And I'm
3.
glad they started finally giving him speaking lines. I was like, man, he gotta get a royalty check out of this.
That motherfucker can glare though, man.
He's saving me.
He gets a glare on. Damn. But it's good. Catch up. You started watching it?
I've
You should
been
watch
watching
those.
I think I've watched the first season of Blacklist.
Yeah.
And
It's tough to catch up because you get 22 seasons down if you miss a season, man.
Yeah, that's a
how
bunch.
many is it? How many is it at right now? Is it, you said season
7. It's this tomorrow's episode or Tuesday's episode, whenever it comes on.
Yeah.
44
Wednesday.
episodes.
Wednesday something. It's at 8. Yeah, it's
It'll be episode
Next
8 of
week,
season 3.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been, and it's, man, I blasted through season 1, and then I got to watching some other stuff, and it's an hour show, so I was watching. It was like watching a feature film every night for me, and like 3 o'clock in the morning.
That's how it was.
I gotta see what James does. Oh,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he'll kill somebody.
oh, next episode title. He's going to the #4 guy.
I think it's number 13 the other night.
Yeah, they did one of the Tyrone King was like number 7.
Yeah, and Berlin was number 8, I think.
Yeah,
Holy hell.
Blacklist is
3
on.
episodes.
Yeah.
3 seasons.
Yeah.
Only halfway through the season.
They're a third.
It's 22 episodes per.
Yeah, so 66.
So I do want to shift gears away from Blacklist. Catch up. It's good. Okay, so
I like mustard.
was the episode of Gotham the other night that good? Because everybody was going retarded on Twitter.
Yeah, I love Gotham.
Are you watching it?
It makes me want to. I may try to finish off this week season 1.
Yeah, it's good
I get
because
caught
we talked about that a while back. Is that I had watched the first episode, and I guess I was like maybe I had a little bit of botulism or something. I just wasn't into it.
Yeah.
And Brian said, "No, dude, you gotta watch this." And so I went back and watched it.
Blacklist?
Yeah, Blacklist, and I was like, man, what was I missing?
Yeah.
It's great. And I was telling Brian the same thing. Gotham, he was sort of meh on it, and I was like, dude,
I'm like 6 or 7 in on that.
yeah, it's really
I'll
good.
probably smoke a cigar and watch a couple episodes tonight.
Yeah, that's because the
Tonight's Fear comes on at 9?
Fear.
Not Fear, fuck it.
Two
Walking
days
Dead.
for DVD.
Badlands, yeah.
No, that's at 10.
No, Badlands is at 9. It starts right
I
after
guess 10
Walking
is-
Dead.
Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
8 and 9.
And then
Good.
Talking
Yeah,
Talking Dead
Yeah.
is after Badlands.
Yeah, Chris Hardwick, made that point over and over in the last Talking Dead.
Oh, that was skipping back.
Yeah, that it's going to be Walking Dead,
I don't
in the
know.
Badlands, and then Talking Dead.
Yeah.
It's okay, the Talking Dead thing. I don't enthralled by it. Like I think,
Yeah, Ginger's the same way. She's like, yeah. She usually starts off good.
and half the time
Oh,
the guests that are on there,
I'll see
it's
them.
almost like a talk show. Like they're
Yeah.
just doing their rounds.
It's the same thing every week.
Yeah,
Same thing every
They
week.
try to get somebody that's into the show and get somebody from the show.
Yeah.
yeah.
So
So
it kind of reminded me when I saw that.
I very much fast forward through Talking Dead.
It reminded me when I saw the Talking Dead. I was like, it's like Bachelor after the Rose.
Yeah.
Like,
It's a big rose ceremony.
I'm watching with my wife because man, every season's a train wreck. I love it, and that's one
it
of
is
those
people
shows.
watching.
That is
right?
one of those shows.
Is on my wife.
That is one of the shows. Like my wife likes to watch Grey's Anatomy, and I'm off that train. But I'll sit there and I'll listen. But I'm sitting there like, I wonder what's happening in Czechoslovakia. It's not even a country anymore. But I want to know what's happening.
Reviewing 1953 in Czechoslovakian history.
That's right.
Czechoslovakia.
Oh, those Axis powers, those kidders. So yeah, it's man, I love it.
Blacklist?
Yes.
Yeah, you'll love
And
Blacklist.
No,
Gotham.
Gotham, I watched part of the first season, and I didn't know if it was going to be on like a Netflix or anything. And I just kind of got
It's
Yeah,
on
behind.
Netflix.
And now, I saw that the other day. I'm like, ooh, that is my next.
How far are
one.
they in? See, I don't have any of it.
They're
I could get caught up on the ads.
season 3 is on right now. So
Okay.
they have 2
44
full seasons.
episodes
Oh,
already.
Yeah, they have 2 full
Wow.
seasons. Yeah. And those, man, I love that show.
How many episodes do you have in a season? A bunch.
A bunch.
Mm,
I'm trying to find it right now.
that's a project.
IMDb, why are
Dude,
you-
clearing through, man, I had to watch 7 episodes of like Heroes, Blacklist. I still
Yeah.
have got. I want to catch up on the player and a bunch of other stuff I got DVR.
I thought you said he was out.
Into the Badlands. No, I said it was okay. I just
Oh, you
watched
said-
one
I
episode.
thought you said he was like
No.
about to
Finished Narcos. You finished it?
Yeah, it's good. It was awesome.
I wanted to watch that, and then I saw Hell Mills.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other day. Like, is Narcos? That was the Netflix original, right?
Helen Will's like season 3, if I remember right. It's the one that starts off a little slow. Where he's in the Mormon camp.
Yeah.
It gets good.
Yeah.
The second half of the season's really
He's
good.
back to camp. He just got back to camp.
Yeah.
It was the-
I just love how like no nonsense he is.
Yeah.
He's like really like, here's what I'm doing. If you get in my way and kill me. It's just so no
Here's
nonsense.
the rules of the room.
Has anybody heard about or had any interest in this show called Netflix show called The 100?
I think I've seen it on there. I
The
have not
premise is a
stopped that.
century after Earth was devastated by a nuclear apocalypse, 100 space station residents are sent to the planet to determine whether it's habitable.
Oh, is this a like it's a like Battlefield Republic or whatever?
It's gonna be like that Will Smith
Starship
Jane,
Troopers or whatever maybe.
Or
Melrose Place.
a reverse Wally or
Wow.
Look at all these fat people.
They survive without their
It should
floating
have
chairs.
just as soon as he went up to that fucking spaceship and saw those people, it's just, where's the subject?
I gotta hold this thing up.
He strapped 15 fire extinguishers and blasted off into deep space.
That's a 4. It's got a 4.5 out of 5 star rating on Netflix. So I'm
The
Interesting.
100. I've heard of
the
it.
100. Yeah.
The
I
100.
think it shows with the other show that the 400 or whatever. You know,
Or 300.
Not 300.
That's when they combine forces with 400.
Right. The 100 and the 300 join together before the 400.
Sparta. Post-apocalypse. Math is hard.
So that Gotham is that good that all the freaking out that those people were doing online was justified.
Gotham season 1
Well,
is
I mean,
available on Netflix.
I like
Just season 1 for Gotham.
Yeah.
Okay.
Gotham is.
Season 2 is running right now, right? Paul?
Yes, that's right. I think I said season 3.
You did. That's why I was just like,
It's like 14
seriously? I don't
also.
know.
No, it's just season 2 right now. So
Okay.
yeah, it's good. The guy Robin, I think his name is Robin Lord Taylor, plays the Penguin.
Is that his real name?
Plot?
Robin Lord Taylor?
I think so.
God, that's pretentious.
It's also 3 names, so he's probably gonna be.
Is it? Are you sure it's not Robin Lord Taylor Esquire?
He's in
The third.
yeah, he's in House of Commons. No, his turn on the Penguin is really cool.
I've seen him in a because he was the scrawny guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I mean, he's got crazy.
He is crazy.
He plays crazy well.
Did you see the episode where he got picked up by the college hitchhikers? The
Uh,
college guys in the SUV, and they offer him a beer, and they proceeds to break a beer bottle over one guy's head and then stab him.
Yes, I did. That does sound very familiar. Yeah.
He's like,
That's crazy. Well.
I want to be friends. It's pretty awesome.
Sounds good. Sounds good.
Yeah, you should watch it. You said you're gonna try to catch up later this week.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's
Then
walked into another room.
No, yeah, I'm gonna try to catch up on it. I'm gonna try. But it seemed that the Twitter sphere was going crazy. So
the Twitter?
Their
The
Twitter
Twitter.
game is
The
strong.
That Twitter?
It's strong.
Twitter game is strong.
I was looking it up on the Twitter.
Yeah. Are you out there on that Twitter?
You be tweeting and shit.
I think they have cream for that.
Not like the trickle?
So I'm gonna try to
Big
catch
triple.
Big triple.
Come around the curve in the Monostat 7.
Yeah, the Monostat 7 sponsored car.
Feel the
Dip trickle. I'm gonna try to catch up on Gotham at some point.
Yeah, it's
I can't. I don't think I'm in DVR yet, so I'll have to add it.
Yeah.
What's it come on?
It's on.
Oh, another IPA extra gay.
Your favorite.
What's up?
A single
I
wide.
think it's on Fox. They didn't start off with episode 3, so I'm really not sure.
Yeah. Breaking the strike.
Wait, it's going to
Alright,
cancel it. It's on
Ain't
Fox.
nobody
Never
the
done
last
this.
guy.
What's the Scientology thing?
Ah, the suspense is killing me.
I don't know if it's suspense or bemusement.
Well, I watched the other night. I finally watched the documentary, Going Clear.
I thought we'd all talked about that.
Well, I never watched it.
Okay.
We mentioned it once, but I never. Yeah.
What color?
I clear.
Sir, what color was the urine?
Going Clear. But it was fascinating. I watched a little bit of it one time, and then kind of the history.
They're
the
fucking
history,
crazy.
The history of L. Ron Hubbard was basically the first part of it. It's like
I think
it's a 2-hour documentary. And the
The
first,
European Union filed like last week or the week before to take their tax exempt status away.
well, they're gonna fight it tooth and nail, of course. Their lawyer, they defeated
They
the
did.
IRS. They went to war
I
against
know,
the
but
IRS and defeated
Like,
them.
who was it? Facebook or Google or I think it was Google got fucked up by the European Union. Don't give a fuck. It doesn't. I don't think that they really have to worry about a lot of the stuff that we would quote unquote worry about here.
Yeah.
I think Scientology may be screwed over there.
Well, one thing they covered in the documentary is they went to war on with the IRS and basically filed civil lawsuits with every member of the IRS they could find.
Yeah.
Well, I
overwhelmed them.
heard that they had like infiltrated and got like a bunch of dirt on people.
Oh yeah, they
were
broke in.
following
They
people around.
broke in and basically robbed the IRS with their files and all the documentation they could find, and basically used it against them then. And did lawsuits after lawsuits. They just it was all out, espionage war.
This is all in the documentary.
Yeah,
They do all that imprisonment. They imprison their own members and like won't let
Yeah,
them go.
that was the
anywhere.
last part of it. Was all these people that come out of it. All these famous people that come out of Scientology, and a lot of them, like one's the movie director and famous screenwriter, that Paul Haggis. He did,
Which is now legal to sell in the United States.
yes.
I guess.
Feel the joke train pulling into the station.
They just gave him the all clear the other day.
Yeah, but
Felt something pull into your station.
I clear.
he wrote the screenplay for Crash, and then he did what was the Clint Eastwood boxing movie?
$1 Million
Million Dollar Baby. He did both of those, back to back. The only person to ever win back to back Oscars for screenplays.
Yeah.
And then he directed. I think he directed Crash too. Yeah, wrote the screenplay and directed it. And anyway, he came out of it. He's been like Scientology for 30 years, 30 years. Came out of it and said, some of his interviews are great.
It's insanity.
Yeah, it's like, you go in thinking, a lot of people go in thinking it's a self-help thing, that's, of how to, like, purge yourself of any neuroses and all this. And then they said that, if they told me from the start, if I get to like where he was operating Thetan level 3, way up there after you don't get, of course, hundreds of thousands of dollars. And it's like, and then they give you the actual writings that L. Ron Hubbard, basically his crazy science fiction ramblings of the whole Xenu and, dropping people into volcanoes and on ancient Earth, and that's how these alien beings are souls or Thetans that attach themselves to babies when they're born, and that's how you gotta get rid of these through the holding the e-meter and going through auditing.
Yeah,
And he's like, if they had told me, he goes, if they had told me all this from the start, I'd been like, well, he goes, I got that. He goes, first of all, I thought it was a test for my sanity. I thought it was a test to say, if you believe this, you're insane, and you've got issues that you've got to do more.
It's like, we were just kidding. We're having a potluck. Just bring a covered dish.
And then all
You
that.
believe this shit? Oh, we were discussing it.
Hey, Greg, I thought somebody's attaching a bomb.
It's
You might want
it's the Mormons.
to get a
It's the
selfie.
Mormons.
You might want to get a selfie stick.
Yeah. I pissed off Scientologists and Mormons so far.
Yeah.
We're doing well.
Risking it.
Who needs
So-
break? Who needs break?
All that stuff they do during the auditing, they get on early on when these people are nobodies. They totally leverage it down
Oh,
the
yeah.
road when they're.
They wrote basically the documentary kind of painted a
That's how they
picture
found
of.
out Tom Cruise is gay.
They paint the picture of like John Travolta. They kind of have him with the short hairs and kind of use that against him to kind of keep him in there. Where crazy Tom Cruise just believes it all.
It's his hair shirt.
So they've given him, basically made him their poster boy. That he's their. Although he almost got out of it, or got a little stray, and then the main guy, David Miscavige, the guy of
The
Scientology.
main crazy person.
Who brilliantly took over after L. Ron Hubbard. L. Ron Hubbard's like, he was like a.
He started off like a secretary or
Yeah,
something.
sure. It started off as a kid. His parents were in it, were in Scientology, and he grew up in the church, and then, again, so-called church. And he was like their.
Hey, one person's so-called church is another person's truth.
Right, true. And he grew up in it, and his parents were in the film industry, so he grew up being L. Ron Hubbard's personal kind of cameraman, filming, and then he became his errand boy, like his right-hand guy. And so then when L. Ron Hubbard, croaked, the dude just basically, L. Ron Hubbard's gone off to another plane and another level of existence, gotten super clear or whatever, And now I am basically just took over, and it's just crazy that they showed footage of some of the Scientology big conferences they do. It looks something like out of Nazi Germany in the 30s, all the Hitler speeches, and rallies and stuff. It's crazy. They got like big posters of L. Ron Hubbard and big flame fire things, burning on the stage in the background. It's like, wow,
It's like the Olympics.
it really is. But
Can you smell what the Hubbard has cooking?
it's just crazy. And the thing is, L. Ron Hubbard started it as basically a way just to let, hey, I need a way to make money. This is, a better way people can give me money.
Dynamics.
Right. Yeah. He actually, one of the
Church
things,
scam is great. How can I get on that?
he submitted Dianetics to like the American Psychology Association and some of the other psychiatrist associations, and they all just went, "That's a bunch of hooey," and they rejected it, and I think that's what caused his hatred and his disdain for like why you see now people like Tom Cruise, saying that psychiatry is just a bunch of gibberish, they don't know what they're doing, and Scientology is the way, you get
I need you to hold on to these two nut rods.
Right.
What is this, a flight simulator?
I think I believe more in dowsing rods.
I get better results.
Dude, that shit works, man. If you don't want to bust the pipe out, maybe you already been putting in a little sprinkler system.
Witching sticks.
That's right.
I do it with 2 coat hangers.
I bet you can.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, Nick's rule.
My eyebrow. It's like, oh yeah, Rob. Thank you for that infield butt.
That was soft toss.
That's what she said.
But yeah, it was fascinating. And the thing is, from that, why I wanted to bring it up, not just to talk about it, but it was like, that would be a fascinating, do a series television based on the craziness of Scientology.
You want to get your ass
Yeah, but
burned, that's a good plan.
they'd have to be totally done. Like they'd have to blow up as an organization. You just get your ass sued like.
Well, that's the thing, you know, the HBO, you know, they hired all their, you know, super team of lawyers to make sure that when they showed this, that they would get their pantsuit off. And you can see it sometimes, there's a little scrolling on here on some of the interviews and stuff, you know, this is, you know, you see a little scroll at the bottom that says, you know, this is so-and-so opinion or whatever, you know, there, or this is,
Well, there's a
this is reportedly what happened, you know.
Cover themselves.
difference between representing what you may be able to substantiate as facts, right?
Yeah.
And then, hey, we're going to do this drama, and it's going to have a lot of stuff made up. Like, then they would sue you for. I never said that. They'd sue you for every word they ever said.
Well, of course, what you do is you basically, you don't call it Scientology, you don't say this, you know, you make it some other religion, but it's a lot like it.
Well, the irony is you get sued for making up stuff about a made-up religion.
Yeah.
Seems odd to me.
This is we're going to the serumology reading word.
Yeah, those people, the new recruits and everybody that put into the Sea Org organization, they just, you know, they're just slave labor. And those people make like 20 cents an hour.
Dude, I would write a script for it,
Like
And then-
wages.
and then every word in the script I would form limited liability company corporation, and for every word, and then as soon as they start seeing it, well, here's all the here's
Here's
all the
a
LLCs.
Shell company,
Which
one
word?
shell company, one shell company.
Which word do you want to sue?
A different company owns each word.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like it's a word potpourri. I don't really know. What did it say? Did that bother you?
Based on the Cayman Islands.
That's right.
But yeah, it was fascinating, the whole thing. Because they did a lot of coverage on, you know, on Tom Cruise. And, you know, he is now the face of Scientology.
I think he's trying to back away in the last year or so.
Dude, he's like Lord Voldemort, man. You don't say his name. Let's not be named.
Well, the thing is, you know, it's smart because they realize that a big face like that can bring them, you know, fresh people coming in. Although they did say in the documentary that membership is declining in Scientology, although their revenues keep going up.
Well, they own like a gazillion businesses.
Well, and they keep investing, they keep buying properties, and get tax exempt
Right.
in major metropolitan cities all across the U.S. and now they're going international, going across the world.
Right.
So they got all these prime real estate locations that's just worth, you know, again, they're worth billions.
Well, and that's what people have said always about the Catholic Church and McDonald's and Starbucks. They're real estate companies. Basically, they have so many locations that they're. Oh yeah, we also sell all kinds. And we have some prime real estate. So there you go.
Yeah, so anytime like a McDonald's goes out of business, so I'm like, okay, somebody's gonna pay us a crap ton of money to go anywhere we were.
But all these people that leave Scientology, then of course, are instantly labeled as,
Sean.
you know.
Sean.
Well, they have a specific name for it.
Say disavow or something like that. I saw
Yeah.
the
Ooh,
lady,
that's what the name of the show be called. The Disavow.
Yeah.
the lady who was on the actress that was on Disassociate, I believe. They disassociated themselves from the person who's leaving. The lady who was on Queens, King of Queens.
Oh
the
yeah.
wife. She left.
Leah Remini.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she left. Her and her family left the Church of Scientology within the past few years, and she just wrote a book about it. And she was raised in it. She was raised. It was on NPR the other day. And
I just want to make
it was they talked about the disassociation.
I've never watched that show. I don't want anyone to be confused.
You said clear, and I thought we used riffing.
No, but I never watched. What was it?
King of Queens.
Yeah, never watched that show. Kevin, what's his name?
Whole Malcolm.
Yeah, if you speak out, if you say anything anywhere negative about Scientology, it's you're doing a suppressive act.
Well, you're screwed.
Well, this is
Honestly,
just
we all
suppressive
were big
act.
fans of theirs, and we brought this up and started making fun of it.
Right. Yeah. I'm a suppressive individual.
Yeah. Thanks, Paul.
I didn't say.
I know. I just
Yeah,
all
I love Tom Cruise. God damn.
Yeah.
See how this shit gets out of hand.
He's not gay, but his boyfriend is.
Yeah, right.
Katie Holmes
But
was
yeah.
wrong. Katie Holmes was wrong.
They instantly labeled when he married Nicole Kidman. He instantly labeled her as a possible threat because her father was a big known, well-known in Australia. And so, anybody.
It's a double hit.
Yeah. Yeah. So they labeled her as trouble. And then while he was involved with her when they got married, he started kind of drifting away from the church. So they put a huge campaign into like pulling him back. And the minute they kind of got their hooks in him, then they started working on pushing her out and discrediting her and turning it. Once the divorce thing started, then they started working on the kids, and they started working on the kids of making them want to be not having to do with their mom, want to be with him.
Not to get dirty.
Yeah.
No, it's like, and the guy that you said who's now in charge, they're still. Where's your wife at? Oh, wife. She's like in lockup or something, and it's like.
Who cares?
She's a good one, man. I'm sorry. Sorry. Mom was not going to get her back.
He's not going to free her.
Sorry, we lost. But yeah, they even did a thing on that whole. Many people don't. Not many people know about it, but where they tried to set up after. I guess it was. I don't know, it was after Nicole or after. It was before Katie Holmes, which was after Katie Holmes. I'm not sure. But they tried to do a little set him up with a new Scientology girlfriend.
Oh yeah.
And is that chick who does Homeland, kind of Indian, good looking?
Yeah, she's super hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They tried
Send one with a new step.
because she was in Scientology. She was a Scientology. Now she's out now, but she was in at the time and was just all kind of state of Wales and wanted to do it kind of for those reasons and was doing it for those reasons. And then they
Scientology wants to say the word.
she was.
She got lost on the way to SeaWorld.
Yeah. She watching?
What
She watching the what was it? Star Trek? Star Trek 2? Was it? They say.
I think it was her.
Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah.
Nazanin Boniadi.
Hey, would you like to go get on?
Bone your body.
Yeah.
Go get on my bone.
Yeah, you look at her. I'll probably say.
Riding the boneyard.
Riding the
But yeah, they basically, hornsnaggled her into like being his girlfriend. Took her away, made her hair prettier, and
made her hair
took her off to Tom Cruise's compound.
That girl.
And,
We got to do something with that net.
In 2004, she had a brief relationship with Tom Cruise.
Yeah, we're gonna have to.
According to the claims of the documentary, going clear.
yeah,
I think brief as in he banged her one night and then never talked to her again.
He boned her body.
He boneyard.
They said, "Man, your hair is."
she did not need his approval.
Yeah.
She didn't need his full approval, or she said
What
something.
kind of did the woman?
She and I think supposedly the lead of David Miscavige, they got in a disagreement, and of course that's when Tom was like, okay,
Wikipedia was on it.
What is the guy in Metallica? What is it?
Kirk Cameron?
Lars Ulrich,
No, the other one.
James Hetfield.
Yeah. I keep on thinking that every time you say that guy that's in charge of Scientology, that he's in Metallica. The name sounds right.
He was the original guitar player.
Dave Mustaine.
Yeah.
Dave Mustaine. There we go.
The guy who went on to do Megadeth.
Peace
So yeah, it was fascinating. I was like watching that, like, this would be a great, it'd be a super interesting TV show.
Be the most expensive TV show ever.
Yeah, they'd have to like
99
legal
lawyers.
laws, yeah.
Like 99 lawyers and still ain't
We might could do it. HBO could. They got the clout to make it happen. So HBO, there's your idea. Make a Scientology show.
So let's move on to Walking Dead, and do we want to close on our hopes for Into the Badlands?
Sure.
Sounds good to me.
Alright. Last week's episode, is everybody up? Do you watch it?
I've watched a lot of Walking Dead, but
That's neither a yes or a no.
Oh.
This is me.
This is sort of personal. It's
I know.
you're an unbeliever.
You may leave the reading room.
There was a lull. I think,
That is a suppressive act.
So my wife calls it the vomit show. Because I first started watching it, and she saw them eating the horse in the first episode, and she ran to the bathroom because she was really hungover as well. But she wouldn't watch it anymore, and
I ate that more horse.
No horses were eaten.
yeah. So I started losing touch with it, but I think I've made it through about 3 seasons.
Okay, well, you're 3 behind.
This is the best season ever.
So last week's episode.
Yep.
What do we think?
I like it. It's a little slower.
It was slower, and I think that for this season, the episodes have had a lot of like really memorable moments that stuck out. Like after the episode, I don't think this one had as many of those. There was the sewer and they opened the gates, but everything else that kind of in between was.
The sludge
Yeah,
zombies.
I'll tell you what.
Those were nasty.
When Maggie stuck her hands up under through the rib
Rib
cage
yeah.
and out through the little hole, it's like she looked like she was playing zombie rib twister. It was awesome.
So does this mean that like at some point
Oh, and
all the
McRibs are back.
zombies?
McRibs are back. That's an aside.
McDonald's with a
Great.
tie in there.
That's an aside.
McDonald's breakfast all day long.
I love it.
This is that
Does
time.
this mean that the zombies will all just deteriorate at some point and the whole world will be at peace?
You would
think that they would
you know,
run out at some certain point. It's like,
but you know you can't do that in a show.
get
You
a
keep
little
going.
scraggly.
Yeah, those dudes down there were they just deteriorating because they were in like liquid poop all the time or what?
Liquid poop.
Water
That's on,
and
I think
urine.
that's on aisle 3. Tom Thumb.
I'm sorry, I was looking for salsa and feces.
I see you've got a whole aisle of poop back there, but I didn't see any liquid.
Is this the
It was
extra
all
spicy?
solid.
Is
Yeah.
this the
It's
soft
all
serve?
semi-solid and solid. I'm looking for bigger liquid poop.
This brother, he evaporated them into a gaseous state. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess at some point, right, they're just going to keep deteriorating until they just basically fall apart, and then it'll just be all the crazy people left.
But no, you can't do that.
They can do it. It can be done, and they have set themselves.
Everybody like Betsy
Trajectory.
can turn into a zombie if they kill themselves.
So I'm not the first person who's ever thought about this, but here's okay. Everybody's infected.
Right.
Okay.
You die, you turn.
Then what does it matter if the zombies bite you? You get super infected?
Yes,
it's an accelerated infection.
Right.
That doesn't make any fucking sense.
And it's just through their mouth swab.
Science.
Yeah.
Does it
Yeah,
work?
and zombies are real, Brian.
I know.
This is TV, the suspension.
Well, the guns work according to science. It's not like the guns work differently.
Yeah, he loves her. Heroes report. That's totally plausible.
I don't get it.
Hey, Japanese guy that can time travel.
I don't get the super infection. Like, I've got it. I'm infected with it. I'm going to turn into a zombie no matter what.
Well, yeah, the moment you die, whatever it is, you know, an hour later.
But I get bit, and I go on to a...
It slowly, it kills you.
It's
Is it like snake venom? Is it the more you get, the faster you're gonna die, or what?
Have you seen the fangs on those? They look like a rattler.
Just doesn't make sense.
But yeah, you're a goner if you get bit. You're sooner.
Sooner.
Well, they have
sooner.
They have
Yeah.
I think
Go Sooners.
it's in Stillwater. They have the zombie roundup every year where they milk the zombies, and then they send it off to the hospital.
Try to make an anti-zombie venom.
Yeah, thoughts are with those in Florida. They got ran over in the zombie fest. Did you hear about that?
That is fucking crazy.
Oh my god, yeah.
No, I didn't.
I think they got like shot or ran over. Or...
Somebody was trying to tell me because somebody really thought it was zombies. They really thought.
Those,
Yeah,
yeah,
it is
real over.
Florida.
I don't know if that's true, but that's
They
what
have
somebody
Walking
was trying
Dead
to tell me.
everywhere in Florida.
Well, I think
It started down there.
I think they're called retirement communities, and they're just weird.
Right.
Yeah.
I think we're getting the cart before the
Oh,
horse.
that should be the third show that they launched, the Near Dead, and it would be in Florida, and it's nothing but really old people walking really
Yeah.
slow.
What the hell are you doing? Why are you following me?
The whole tension is basically just like, okay, when's Grandpa gonna die?
Trying
Is he gonna
to-
turn?
Trying to gun you to death.
God damn it, Esmeralda, I said bingo. I had a bingo 2 minutes ago.
Get back here.
Oh, speaking of Florida, that there's some talk that if Rubio moves on, that
like to
Like-
another
Like
plane.
to be a Walking Dead.
yeah, to be a nearly
To be
dead.
a hero plane?
Is that they want to? There's a guy that's going to be running for his seat who's a Scientologist, and that would be the first Scientologist senator in wacky old Florida.
Could a Scientologist win? Wouldn't it?
They have
If they got enough
to
dirt-
contribute to his campaign, so yes.
If they got enough dirt on you, they sure as hell.
I
can.
know, but shouldn't like
the only candidate.
Jed Clampett could get up there and go, he's a Scientologist, and win?
Well, I think I can't remember what the article
Is he
said.
running as opposed?
It would be like, because they hit all the bodies.
Right.
Getting them. I think it would be like an appointment to finish out like the term, and then once he's in like Flynn. He starts blackmailing.
Yeah, 36-year career.
Son of a bitch. So anything last week's Walking Dead?
I thought it was interesting that the leader of Alexandria,
Yeah.
she's been on the
She's-
roller coaster of emotions.
She's skirting crazy town.
But she's starting to finally come out of it. I mean, I was like,
Yeah,
look at her.
I felt like she got clarity there at the end.
Yeah, at the end, with some
Like-
did a little sissy slap at the fence with his arms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she's starting to realize her son is not that hot.
And I was like, good for Spencer, man. He stood up and got
Yeah.
everybody to stop raiding the place, and then he gets his drink on, and he's, well, I stopped them from raiding it, so
Yeah. It
I rewarded myself.
would be bad if a bunch of people did it, but if only I do it, it's okay.
Loading up in the dirt like he's a costume.
He was having Snack Fest Central, then he's up there on the lookout with his little cracker.
Man, this may be the end of the world. But this all
Yeah. Sure, go for a beverage now, though.
I was when the scene when he was arguing with his mom Deanna. She's a little short lady,
Yeah.
and he is like 6. He's like Ron height, you know. And she's looking up at him. It's like looking up at the Empire State Building. Son, how did you come from my loins? So yeah.
You tick turd.
Turd.
There's no way that you came from my loins.
I can hold my punch your mama in the mouth.
What's that from?
What?
Come on now.
Come on now, man.
Come on.
Eastbound
Come on,
down,
please.
loaded up and
Oh.
trucking. We gonna do what they say
It
can't be done.
We
Got
got
a long way to go,
and
a short time to get there. We're gonna go watch that bandit run. Something. Just sit over there in your shame.
Come on, bandit.
Snowman.
So anyway,
Left turn, Clyde.
Yeah.
That's a staple of our childhood.
So
I know.
there.
Forgot that shit.
I drink a lot.
He had a bad experience with smoking a bandit.
Somebody smoking a bandit.
Somebody touched him inappropriately during the screen.
Check my babies.
Right. Yeah, they were auditing you.
Okay, 2 more minutes. Clear. Cleaning the pipes.
So I did feel like there at the end that she got clarity, like she gets it now. Because I felt like she got it a little bit before, but not really like, oh, we need these people to protect us because they know what's really going on out there, and we're not going to be able to get there fast enough. And now it feels like she was like, all right, it is like all you have to do what you have to do to survive, or you're slowly making decisions to kill yourself.
Yes, for such a tiny woman, I will give her props for she didn't know how to kill a zombie, but man, she stabbed that zombie that attacked her about 8 billion times with that broken
Yeah, she
arm.
got it on, man.
And then Rick comes up with a knife.
Okay, here's
She was
a
in a
little
total bar fight with that thing.
back to Brian's little unbelievability thing. You know, okay, if zombies can come at you in the sewer when
Come at me.
when they were there, like, nothing but a rotting corpse and rib cage and the head still intact or whatever.
Come at me, bro.
So they get motor control there. Yet this dude, fresh turned wolf guy, zombie, comes at her and she starts stabbing him a bunch of times in the chest with that bottle and knocks him down. And look, I mean, from the way it was portrayed, it weakened him enough that she's up there stabbing him. But like, wasn't
That'd
there
be
no
nice.
difference at all? The dude would just keep going there in full force, and because you got to kill the brain.
Maybe she hurt his feelings.
Maybe she was just gonna really fuck him up.
I'm just wanting a hug and you start stabbing me.
Yeah.
He was like,
Yeah, I know it's for television. It's drama.
And of course, she's only like 3 foot tall, so
Right.
she climbed up one leg, stabbing. She was rock climbing. She had 2 broken bottles, stabbing and climbing.
Like I can't even remember what the setup for this one. I hope this episode's really, really good, full of like crazy action.
Well,
I don't want like 2 down episodes in a row.
They have got a ton of walkers outside those walls.
That's right.
And I still haven't figured out
What was
20
it?
20 deep.
Everybody getting their fuck on at the end of that episode too.
I know.
We survived. Orgy.
Yeah.
Well, but
Hey,
see, and you
Man's
think,
got needs.
you think about it, the Alexandrians, they were so sheltered from all this because all the walkers were trapped in the quarry and they couldn't hear them. We've talked about that. Is that, that's the, like, when you get done with the battle, and it's like, I'm going to get her bone up.
Yeah, that's right, man.
Let's make babies.
Make it a baby. What you looking up?
I'm seeing how tall the actors are.
And of course, Maggie's
Her name is-
big surprise that nobody was really surprised.
Lego.
Very, very Jewish sounding name. Tova Feldschun.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tova. T-O-V-A.
Stein.
Tova Feldschun. Yeah, no, it's not.
For her.
Also known as
Stain.
Also known by her less Jewish name, Terry Sue.
Frankenstein.
Terry Sue got married.
Frankenstein.
She's 61, but that's
God, I need to watch that movie.
Yeah, I'm telling you, man, she's pocket sized.
She's a spinner.
She's
See?
she's the
Yeah, serious conversation.
Hey now. She's the younger sister of Pulitzer Prize nominated playwright David Feldstein.
Feldstein.
Her quotes. People think of me as the Jewish Meryl Streep.
Except half height.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know about that. But okay.
I've never seen Meryl Streep stab a zombie in the chest. I don't know.
Is the show on tonight? Is that...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
That's why we're all That's
I
what
was
I was gonna say on Twitter, but that's sort of
Always accountable.
I was gonna sing a line from Les Mis, but
Still no Glenn.
Glenn Free.
That was the question I saw
What
there.
were you? What was it you kept saying? Glenn Trolls.
Oh, Maggie did drop the bomb.
Glenn
She
Glenn
prayers.
Testams.
She dropped the bomb. Yeah.
Bun in the oven?
We kinda
That
knew.
was a non-surprise. She's like, I'm pregnant, and the
Well,
zombies are out there.
It's not mine, is it? I don't want to have to pay.
2 for 1.
Something about me tells me that the zombies, because they can
can
sense humans and blood, and it's like that's like a feeding frenzy. She's pregnant. Her fetus is
So delicious.
It's like duck liver. It's pate.
It's a delicacy.
Yeah. So I hope tonight's episode is pretty action packed. I don't want 2 down episodes. Let's do this. Let's go full crazy town.
Yeah.
Full bore.
Rick, wow, boy, cardio does boy good there. He ran all the way home from the camper.
Yeah.
Freaking cool.
Open the gate, and then he did a shoulder tackle, that crazy shoulder tackle on that zombie.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, mother guy.
I used to play for the Cowboys.
Open the gates now.
Yeah, that, what was that, the movie, Zombieland, with,
Woody Harrelson.
Woody Harrelson, yeah, that was one of those things, was cardio was very important. Zombie apocalypse.
Double tap.
I can do burpees all day long.
Gotta be able to outrun it.
Yeah, they've been running so hard and heavy during The Walking Dead into the Badlands during extended
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff like that. And really, I'm hoping they're not overpumping the sun.
Doesn't Preacher start tonight too?
I think it starts
It's AMC.
You got the Google.
No, they had that. They did the.
No, I think it starts the 20th.
Are they going to start running it when Walking Dead goes on mid-season break?
That would be smart.
That would be smart for that
Yeah.
time slot. With more
Yeah, I'm interested in
bloody
that.
guts.
Very interested in that, and I'm very interested in the what's the new Netflix originals to drop later this week. The superhero one, Jessica.
Oh, Jessica
Jones. It
Ah,
looks good,
It
dude.
looks really good. Have you heard?
The chick from Breaking Bad.
Check out the trailers on YouTube. It's really good.
Whoever the admin bot is that runs the Jessica Jones Twitter is super sarcastic.
Oh,
Yeah, it's really funny. Like people tweet at the part, whatever I'll just call it her tweet account, and they always like have a pretty good setup. Like it's pretty funny to read their wall.
Yeah, I posted something to their admin. That's like, so what type of liquor did you enjoy drinking these? I can't remember what he said. He said something like, "Oh, not my fucking concern." Something like that. I was like, thanks.
Well, somebody said something, when I meet Jessica Jones, I'm gonna ... and they came back like, dare you finish that sentence.
Oh, your boy David Tennant's in that too. And Jessica Jones.
Purple Man.
Yeah, pretty sure it doesn't start till 2016, but they were already showing that extended footage. That's why I was thinking maybe it was.
Build it up.
Carrie Ann Moss is in Jessica Jones.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
And what's her name from Breaking Bad? The one that he let die. She's the star.
Oh, Kristen Ritter.
Yeah.
Jack Tripper.
Any relation to John Ritter?
I don't know.
Could be. His son was in Parenthood, and it's a good thing that his son decided to wear a beard and a mustache because he looks a lot like his dad.
Yeah, he looks very like a very.
He's a good actor.
Yeah, he does look like that.
I wonder if they talked him into wearing glow in the dark condom.
No. What was the name of that?
I can't remember what that was. Where poltergeist back there.
Ghost.
Is it Ghost?
The ghost of the most thing.
Alright, here's the cast.
You just did that slow hit turn.
No.
He was saying
Say something about
it's
the
like,
part of his eye.
he started throwing up split pieces. Yeah.
No relation.
I bet somewhere.
Look
Look
it
it
up
up on
It looks good, man. It looks like it's gonna be super
Yeah.
dark and very cool.
The comic book series Jessica Jones, it was like unrated. It was super violent, super sex, super.
Well, like Jessica
Overrated.
Jones has been around for a ton of time, and they redid. It was the initial book of a relaunch. One I can't remember the name of. What was her name?
Annie.
Annie.
Daddy Warbucks. Annie versus Daddy Warbucks.
Danny Warbucks. Daddy Warbucks. You should need a chip on here.
No.
Have you ever periscoped a chip before?
Do it.
Yeah, we're on TV now. We can eat.
Oh, I can't remember the name, but they relaunched a.
So we get some sponsors that staying in that generic bag.
Come on, Tostitos.
Hey,
It's calling your
I
name.
know what I like.
Brian's got some of those name tags that say "Hello, I'm Doritos."
But it's been around forever and ever, and it's one of those characters that's been constantly redone.
Yeah.
And the one you're talking about was one of those redos.
Yeah, it was a reincarnation of relaunch. Super nerd.
You guys probably already covered this in previous episodes, but Daredevil, I got into that and watched the full season of that.
Oh, that's awesome. And Jessica Jones is set in the same world. It's building up to a miniseries called The Defenders.
Really?
Yeah.
And I haven't seen very much. I've watched a little bit of Daredevil.
Oh,
I've watched Arrow.
Arrow, I got into for a little bit, and then it started getting boring after a while, and you could tell that it was a.
It's very
it was like
CW.
Yeah, CW. That's what it was.
The Flash and Arrow. And
Yeah.
You haven't watched Daredevil? Paul?
A little bit.
Yeah.
Show's good,
That
man.
was a good one.
Get on it.
How about the
Damn, I'm trying to catch up on Blacklist. I got so many hours in the day.
You got a job to do here, sir.
It's not
Soon
an
as
actual job.
As soon as the first check clears, I'm on it.
It's a altruistic endeavor.
Get my knowledge on.
Economic knowledge.
That's right.
So anyway, I hope I'm gonna say it the third time. Tonight's episode of Walking Dead needs to be go, man.
One of the
I don't want
podcasts that I watched.
another morality tale or a slow builder up. I want to get it on. Get our zombie on.
Yeah, one of the podcasts I listen to occasionally is Walker Stalkers,
Mm-hmm.
and the host recently he said, "I made the major mistake of calling an episode filler one." I never heard the end of it.
So
is this what filler?
Yeah.
It's like, God.
Come on, people.
Slower
Yeah.
episodes, a little bit of filler.
On the Black List podcast, they talk a lot about, hey, this is just a filler setup episode, blah blah blah. And one guy's always busting the other guy's chops.
Every series is like that.
Yeah.
There's
Yeah,
always
you gotta have something.
Especially something like the Blacklist that has 22 episodes. Not every one of them is going to be the episode to watch, right?
I mean, how many monologues can James Spader have?
Unless you're like 24 and you have to have something insanely
Every-
crazy happen every hour of the 24 hour period.
You know, I've
Did they see,
never
like,
watched
a week
that.
after every one of those, and like you have 24 hours of that much ridiculousness happening. We're
Right.
to think that Jack Bauer just had like a coma
Well,
for
it's
2
like,
weeks.
it's like getting a job in retail sales and then putting in the midnight stocking curtain. Your clock changes and you're like, man, it's 3 a.m. Let's go to Jack in the Box. It's like, no, sleep, dude. Get out of my window.
Fallen Hits took place.
I've never seen that show.
Or,
You ever wait. You never watched
never watched
24?
24.
Ever?
What?
Oh, okay. That works.
Wow. Another guy that you have now infinitely more respect for.
Jack Bauer.
I'm sorry.
Is that
I
on,
can't
is
be
that on
everything to
Netflix?
Oh yeah. Watch.
It's like, it went
There's
for
like,
like
yeah.
20 seasons.
Yeah,
right? It's-
well, I don't know.
yeah.
I haven't seen that thing.
Like they just finished the 8th one.
He started when right after the movie Lost Boys, and then he finished up and he turned into
I heard he's
Hey,
so
he's a
Jack
vampire.
Bauer,
Yeah.
or not Jack Bauer, but Kiefer Sutherland.
His dad's still going strong.
Yeah, that's
Jack
what-
Bauer's a dick.
Well, yes, and Kiefer Sutherland.
He is. I just saw some weird thing. Like he's
Yeah,
still a
he's-
huge party guy,
Yeah.
and it was like him in some London party with like all his shirt off and pants halfway off and stuff going crazy.
Man,
It's
it's
like,
So you found that on the road too. So.
Yeah.
and you know it's gotta be bad when Charlie Sheen said, "Calm
Yeah, dude, you're winning too much.
down."
You need to slow up on the winning.
Oh my god! How many years back was that? That whole winning thing with him.
Why can I not find this Walker Stalker podcast?
Charlie Sheen.
Type in Walker Stalkers 2012.
Stalkers.
Walker Stalkers. I think.
Well, I was trying to find him on. There we go. That brought him up on Twitter.
Yeah, there used to be 2 guys, and then one
It's
of them-
4 dudes. 3 dudes.
Yeah, now it's just one
One
guy and a whole bunch of like somebody running the turntable.
Oh,
Two turntables and a microphone.
Well, because there used to be 2 guys that would run it, and the other guy he had to like pay bills or something. So now they
Yeah,
only
real
do.
job.
Yeah, and they used to run 2 episodes. They do an initial reaction right after the Walking Dead episode, and then they do a midweek. And now they just do the initial reaction because it's just this one guy and whoever volunteers and get it.
Looks like they had Norman Reedus on as a guest.
Yeah, they have. It's sponsored by Skybound Entertainment, which is Kirkman's company. So, and they do the Walker Stalker Con.
I gotcha.
Yeah, I'm looking up there right now. It's a Walker Stalker Con
Yeah.
Dallas 2016, March 5th and 6th.
Yeah, I nearly went to it.
All right,
this year
well,
last year.
go please on this.
Okay. And it's supposed to
I
be
wouldn't mind
running.
going, but I don't want to dress up. I'm going to
Come
go.
on.
I heard they're pretty good.
I'm
The
not
tickets
gonna
are not that bad, and they always have like
Yeah.
they always have stars of the show there, and they just had their big the big con that they have is the big showdown con that they have is in Atlanta every year,
Oh yeah.
and so they
Oh,
get
that is
everybody.
Walking Dead.
Yeah, so they get everything.
Nice.
So I've got the zombie outfit from Halloween this year, so I'll be ready to
That's
go.
why he's so cleanly shaven.
Yeah, this is usually much furrier. I feel cold. But I got.
You don't
Yeah,
get a zombie with facial hair?
Yeah, it seems like a well-groomed zombie would be a little odd.
Yeah.
So I decided to just go shave it all.
You should have
off.
planned way in advance and just let it all go crazy.
I know. I didn't
Or just shaved it crazy, like, and cut it with weird
Yeah.
things.
Oh, that's awesome.
You could have shaved it crazy and then put like a big W on your forehead and then a wolf zombie.
Wolves.
Yeah, wolf zombie.
Now, to be a wolf, I'm after that one episode. I'm assuming if you're a zombie after the
Yeah,
wolves get you, is you have no arms and legs.
They have a terrible dental plan, too.
Yeah.
Wolves. Yeah.
Just pull out
All
your teeth.
their teeth are, like, gray and dirty and nasty.
I mean, you got to be pretty crazy and bad.
They
It's
just
the
don't
guys from
care.
Terminus. Those guys. We don't need any of their guys anymore.
Yeah, they're freaking crazy.
They don't
They
bathe.
taste, yeah, they taste horrible too.
They don't
taste.
bathe.
They don't taste like long pig at all.
All right, so
It's like chicken.
into the Badlands.
Into the Badlands.
I'm watching it tonight. Are you watching it tonight?
I
Or
don't
you
know about tonight, but I'll watch it this week.
You're gonna be up. This is what I'm getting. What are you gonna be doing tonight? You're gonna be up till 2 a.m. No, you're not.
I cannot do 2 a.m.
Version.
I'm out at like midnight now.
You gotta go to midnight so you can wake up at 11.
You work at home,
I
right?
gotta get up at butt crack of dawn. We get to get up and up to school and all that good stuff. So
I don't believe it.
What's
I'm
up?
gonna-
I'm an old man now. I
I'm
need
gonna
my
ask
sleep.
Ginger. I'm gonna ask Ginger if this is true.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
I need my sleep.
So you're gonna go to bed. What are you gonna be doing from 9 o'clock when Ginger goes to sleep till midnight?
Oh, you mean
Well,
7 o'clock?
Ginger will actually make it maybe till 10:30. So we'll watch something, and then she'll fall asleep, and then here lately I've been like fall asleep about 30 minutes to an hour after she does, because I'll be sitting there watching something, and then I'm like, next thing I know it's
Gonna have to start calling him Grandpa.
3
Grandma,
a.m.
meanwhile.
It's 3 a.m. and it's like, oh crap.
Beam on, pop off.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Pawpaw. That's what we're gonna start calling you, Pawpaw.
It's probably that sustained blood loss from cutting your shins up all the time while you're
Yeah, your
Could be.
iron deficiency after all that blood loss is terrible.
Like 30 more iron pills.
So I'm watching it tonight.
I am.
I'm watching it tonight. You need to start watching it.
I'm gonna be getting through some of my series that I'm going. I think I'm gonna have to watch my
DVR it.
novels.
DVR.
Yeah,
It's peer pressure.
I know.
I know. It's,
Everybody's
I
doing
I write down about
If-
7 different shows every time.
If
I
you
come to
can,
this.
if you can drink IPAs
There it is. There
with a
it is.
straight face,
You know what?
you
Get
can
your coconut
DVR.
rum.
Vanilla.
You watch it.
Vanilla.
I'm sorry.
Vanilla.
Vanilla coconut.
Yeah.
Tight tan lines. That's what you want.
Blue parrot.
No, blue chair.
He said you was a bitch.
Blue chair bay.
Blue chair bay.
If you're drinking an IPA, it's really difficult to insult it.
No, I
Really?
refresh mine.
Yeah.
Choke that shit back.
Sure. Now I'm gonna go puke.
Hold it down.
I'll get into it.
I'm psyched.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to
I'm
it.
very interested in it. Now,
They pumped it up though, man. So I'm
oh,
hoping I'm not.
Lord, how they pumped it up.
I'm hoping I'm like, okay, they showed us all the best parts.
They show every commercial break for Walking Dead. They show it. They show it like behind the scenes, specials here and there. They throw promos in Talking Dead. It's like, wow.
If I see Norman Reedus show up in the background, I'm just turning off the TV.
Their Twitter account has been crazy for weeks. Just pumping it hard.
Yeah, I wonder if the suspicious part of me is like, hey, they went to that Fiverr.com and paid a whole bunch of people. Okay, we need you to.
Oh, that's
How
free.
many people would double up on a Twitter account like me?
Right.
Let's see there how many are following their Twitter thing. Only 4,000.
It looks interesting. I like the premise and the shots scenes they've shown. It looks interesting.
It looks like a super comic book
Yeah.
in a good way. So yeah, I'm watching it. I'm watching it tonight.
Yeah, the dude reminds me a little bit of Bloodshot, the Valiant comic book
Yeah.
series. A little bit. He's a samurai guy, but he's a little superpower too.
Have you guys seen the new trailers for Deadpool?
Oh, yeah.
He is.
Didn't they have to dial it down to keep it from being like rated X or something?
No, it's well, they're going for a hard R on it.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying.
They probably had to.
Yeah.
And then the director recently came out and said, Deadpool is pansexual. Sometimes he's down with a D.
He likes putting D's and A's.
Yeah, it's like he doesn't care.
He's a member of Dirty Mike and the Boys. What? You guys don't know who Dirty Mike and the Boys are?
Is that Magic Mike?
The other
Is
guys.
this something you found in Barry Magazine?
No. The other guys.
Red tube.
Dirty Mike and the Boys. So Will Ferrell's character, he drives a red Prius and he gets it stolen like early on in the show, in the movie. And he can't find it. But finally they find it, and they take it back, and they're gonna CSI it all on the inside. And they're like, this thing's lit up like a Christmas tree in there. There's semen all over the place. And he's like, what? So what they find out is like, so they were like, yeah, we were tracking down a bunch of homeless guys that have been using it for a orgy den. and so at the end,
So that's where livingparty.org came from.
at the end of the movie, they're sitting there like reminiscing about what just happened to them.
Oh, well,
And no, they're in the middle of like a park or something, and all these homeless people walk up behind them like, hey, you guys want to join us? And I'm like, we'll join you for what? Oh, and they point over to his car again. Oh, we're about to go over to that fuck shack over there and put some D's and some A's. And he's like, are you Dirty Mike and the boys? And it's Michael Keaton as Dirty Mike. And he goes, and Michael Keaton's character goes, run for it, boys! And they start running, and he's like, rub your dick on his car while you run by. And they're all like, rubbing their dicks on his car. Put some D's and some A's. We talk about Dirty Mike and the boys all the time, man, at work. It's like, oh yeah, remember old Bob? Didn't he hang out with Dirty Mike and the boys? Yeah. Thanks. And then they're like yelling, Michael Keaton's yelling, thanks for the buck shack. And he's just running away.
That is too funny. What is the name of this?
The other guys? It's
Never heard
Will
of it.
Ferrell
Oh,
and
it's
Mark
funny.
Wahlberg.
Yeah.
And Will Ferrell's married to Eva Mendes. And he's always talking about his bitch wife, how much of a bitch she is. And then he invites Mark over for dinner. And Mark sits down and he's like, he's like, who's that? Because it's Eva Mendes. And Will's like, oh, it's my wife.
Oh, ball and chain.
What? No, she's hot. Who is she? That's my wife. And all Will Ferrell does is bitch throughout the whole movie about, she just nagged me all the time. She won't leave me
She's
alone.
awesome, isn't it?
Yeah, she's all being super cool to him. He's like, see, she won't leave me alone. I get no me time. And he's like, no. Even after dinner, he's like, they're walking him out to the car. He's like, who are you? It's so damn funny. It's a funny show.
What year did that come out?
5 or 6 years ago.
Yeah, I would say that.
2010.
Wow, 5 years.
Yeah, the other guys, Dirty Mike and the boys.
Derek Jeter's in there. Derek Jeter's themselves.
And it starts off with
Samuel
The Rock
Jackson's
and
in there.
who's the other guy that's with The Rock? Is it?
Dwayne Johnson. Yeah,
Yeah, and that's
Wow.
the two main detectives. I think it's shot here in Dallas.
Really?
I don't remember, but the two main detectives die early on.
They're New York City detectives.
So that's why they're the other guys. They get brought into this case only because the two people they'd rather be investigating than get killed.
Of course.
It's fun. Just checking out the other guys. Well, we're at an hour and like 15.
All right.
It's time to call it a day. Time to call it a podcast.
That's right. It's dark 30 out there.
Once again, it's the Bearded Wonder, Gorgeous Greg,
Okay.
Gregalicious. That's what
There
I
we
started.
go.
Greg-alicious. Radical wrong. What's wrong with Gorgeous Greg? Gorgeous Greg. So
He's
it's
a
a box.
wrestler with a hey,
Yeah. Gorgeous Greg, member of Dirty Mike and the Boys.
Who's that new guy in Adsick? Oh, it's Gorgeous Greg.
Gorgeous Greg.
Oh yeah.
Loves putting D's and A's.
Lowercase d.
Radical Ron and me, we're out.
See ya.
Pasta. Ah.
Pasta.
I need my floating chair to take me away.
Take me
Yeah.
to where I